Dear children, welcome to the final session of the second unit, The Snake and the Mirror, written by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. Dear students, today we will read and understand the paragraphs from 13 to 20. Before reading the paragraphs, let us have the new words with their pronunciation.
Rod, rod.
Molten, molten.
Looked, looked.
Mascara, mascara.
Vermilion, vermilion. Unwound, unwound.
Reedy, reedy. Sprinter, sprinter.
Smeared, smeared.
Dear children, please open your English course book. Let us read the paragraphs from 13 to 20 and understand the rest of the story. I felt then the great presence of the Creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and He did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." There was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lurked 4 inches away. Suppose it struck. What was the medicine I had to take? There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. It seemed as if God appreciated that. The snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror, but it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? Was it trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache, or using eyeshadow and mascara, or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? I will never know, for the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. From there it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. Phew! Each of us heaved a sigh of relief. All of us lit beads. Somebody asked, "Doctor, is your wife very fat?" "No," the doctor said. "God willed otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter." Someone else asked, "Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you?" The doctor replied, "I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. Immediately I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. The next morning at about 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. But we found we had little to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. The room had been cleaned out, but not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult." "What was that?" I asked. The doctor said, "My vest, the dirty one. The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. The rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water." "Did you see the snake the next day, doctor?" The doctor laughed. "I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty." Let us analyze the summary of those paragraphs which we have seen today. When the snake was a few inches away from his face, the doctor sat as if he was a statue. He thought of only one help, the help from the Almighty. God appreciated that. That means God listened to the prayer of the homeopath. The snake turned its head and looked into the mirror. It unwound itself from his arm and slowly crept into the table and moved towards the mirror. Immediately, the doctor got up from the chair and quietly went out through the door. Then the doctor ran till he reached his friend's house. He came back to his house only the next morning with his friend and one or two others. They had come to move his things from there, but there was hardly anything left for him to carry. The thief had removed most of his things except the dirty vest. There was no sign of the snake either. Dear students, please take your English notebook and find out the answers for the questions given in the text. Now let us analyze the answers which you have written, whether it is correct or not. Question number 11. In the story, the snake is compared to three objects. What are they? A rubber tube, a thick leaden rod, and a rod made of molten fire. Question number 12. Why did he feel that he was stupid? He felt that he was stupid because there were no medicines in his room. Question number 13. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. What does the doctor mean by this statement? He took his breath and could move only after the snake slithered down and crept towards the mirror. He was sitting like a stone image, fearing that his slightest movement would make the snake to attack him. Question number 14. Why did the doctor run to his friend's house? Did the snake harm the doctor? Why? He wanted to escape from his house, and also he wanted to make a bath and change his clothes. No, the snake didn't harm the doctor. Question number 15. The thief had left behind one thing as final insult. What was the insult? The thief had left behind the doctor's vest, which almost looked like a shabby one. All the other things were taken by the thief. Now let us watch a video based on the last paragraphs.
It is a dangerous cobra with its hood spreading out, hardly 3 inches from his face. He sits there like a stone statue, afraid to move, lest the snake may bite him. He thinks of various medicines he has to take in case the snake bites him. In this moment of fear of death, he realizes that God has punished him for being too proud and arrogant. The moment he accepts his true worth, the snake turns his head and looks into the mirror. The doctor thinks that maybe the snake is attracted towards its own beauty. That is why it is looking so carefully in the mirror. Slowly, it crawls off his body and creeps onto the table and moves towards the mirror, as if to enjoy its reflection in the mirror closely. As soon as the snake gets down from him, he quietly gets up from the chair, leaps through the yard and runs away to his friend's house. The next day in the morning, the doctor along with his 2 friends goes to his room to bring out his belongings from there. The room has been cleaned out. Some thief had removed most of his things the previous night and left behind his dirty vest, maybe to insult him.
Read the story once again and complete activity number 1. It is on page number 28 of your English course book.